these are some things that have helped us be able to make homeschool work. One thing, I feel like it's really hard in the beginning to maybe make the transition to homeschool because there's a lot of things you're trying to figure out, but I feel like once you get things figured out, you get into a groove and it works. One thing that I feel like has been really important to help us function every day is having chore charts for my kids, and not just chore charts, but I clearly have typed up specific stuff in categories that they need to finish every day in order to have free time. Some of those things are like schoolwork, and then some of those things are their zone chores. I have 3 different zones in my house of things that chores that need to be completed, and they rotate those every month so they can all have some time doing the different zones. That's been very helpful for us. It helps, like, they just know they have to get it done before they have free time, and I feel like once they're trained in that, then they can easily they know the expectations and what they're expected to do. So that's been extremely helpful to have in place. And I feel like as far as having time to yourself, I used to have more time to myself in the morning when my kids were at school, and now I feel like it kind of just switched to afternoons. I have a little bit more time because we get schoolwork done in the morning, and then in the afternoon I have time to do things that I need to get done. Sometimes I can run errands. It's especially helpful if your oldest child is able to stay home with the kids and you can run errands, or go grocery shopping or get some things done that you need to. We usually go grocery shopping in the evening. I don't really do that in the day anymore, but it seems to be even easier if my husband or I go just on our own, and then or on Saturday, and we can just get that done and not worry about taking kids with us. So if that's an option, I think that's probably easiest for us. Anyway, these are just a few tips that have worked for our family. Okay, these are some of the things that we use to homeschool. This is my oldest. He is going into 8th grade now, but for 7th grade, he used these things. We've used The Good and the Beautiful's language arts course book and handwriting, and then they have readers that go with it. I have them journal usually once or twice a week. They kind of alternate between, we have just a standard journal and then big life journals also that they use. My son loves reading, the one who's going into 8th grade, so he's really loved these Life of Fred books. I think they're really great if you have a reader who wants to learn math at the same time. Other things we've used for math, let's see, this is my daughter. She was in 2nd grade last year, and her and my other son have been using Matthew C. is the brand, and they've really liked these books. They're kind of straightforward and to the point, but they have a lot of manipulatives. Oh, actually, it's back there. They have blocks and stuff that go with them and help you see things visually. So those they've really liked that curriculum for math. We have, let's see, handwriting books, I think I said. Oh, Handwriting Without Tears is another company for handwriting that we've loved. Something else that my kids, I've done with them in the morning is these books. These are their memorizations. I got these books just off Amazon, and any poems that we've memorized, they have illustrated and wrote in these books, so you can kind of just see through here. I've had them practice some cursive. I think this is one of my favorite parts of homeschool, is in the morning just being able to like really work on their character development and helping them learn things that really help them become strong people and have good character. And I feel like this has been a great and wonderful, important part of that. Anyway, they each have one of those books that we will take a day to do that after we've memorized their poems. Okay, we homeschool I think schedules can be kind of tricky. It sometimes feels overwhelming to get a schedule in place and create something that you feel like is going to work for your family. But I also think that it changes every year, so it's just kind of good to embrace whatever is going on that year. And I think it's really good to have a rhythm and a routine, but also keep a little bit of flexibility in there, just knowing that things will change. This year my kids have piano Monday mornings. It seems like we have something every day that we attend. They have a piano class. They have a class at Thanksgiving Makerspace on Tuesday. We have a co-op neighborhood group that we're part of. It took me a couple years to find people that we wanted to do stuff with and work out teaching classes with each other. We do that on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday is kind of our free day. So having those things in place kind of gives us structure. And then in the mornings, right when we wake up after breakfast, I usually like to have that be kind of our special family time. We do read aloud books, we do memorizations, gratitude stuff, any of the stuff that I feel really strongly that is important that I want to instill in them. We take about 45-ish minutes to an hour probably to do that. And then they do their math and language arts. Usually first thing in the morning. I feel like that's when motivation is the highest for that. And then we usually rotate to our different things, like I mentioned at the beginning, Monday through Thursday. And yeah, it's really nice. We usually wrap things up early afternoon, and then they don't have homework, and all of our stuff is done. Friday is a fun day. Sometimes we go on field trips, or we leave it open to something they're interested in, and just let them explore and be creative more with that day. Okay, this is real life in our homeschool room. I haven't straightened up or anything in here, but I have a lot of schedules and stuff on the board from the beginning of the year that we try to follow. We made some vision boards at the beginning of the year that you can see my kids have done, and we try to look at those in the morning. They have art walls in here that they hang their pictures on. We've got a lot of books over the years. We've accumulated a lot of reading material. This is kind of our just fun children's reading section. And over here, I kind of have sectioned it off into like animal science and other science subjects like geography, social studies, history, kind of character building, stories. This is like art and architecture, and then they all have their bins down here below that they keep their different books and stuff in. So that's kind of how I've organized it. Up here is just a catch-all place right now, but different things that we've used. I have some art supplies over here that they can use to do projects and things that they're working on, and then this table that we kind of all sit at in the mornings together. So that's how I've set up our homeschool room. This is why I homeschool. My oldest child, when he was in public school, I realized he wasn't thriving in that type of environment. I felt like it was very catered to just a certain group of people, and he didn't really fit into that group of people. I wanted a lot more for him. I felt like I could offer more for him here in our house. He was a big reason I started homeschooling, so that I could cater a little bit more to his needs and help him become who I felt like he could be. Another reason is time with my kids is, I feel like as they get older, you have less of it, even as they're younger too. It's so important to have quality time with them, and when they're at school for such a long time, I felt like I was missing out on spending that time. They would get home and have homework and extracurricular stuff, and I just felt like I wanted more time that I could have an influence of the things that I felt like were important. I could instill in them and teach them things that I felt like were very crucial to their learning. And another reason I would say I would homeschool is to have a little bit more control over the things that they're learning and the content that they're exposed to, and making sure that it's something that they're interested in and is touching their heart. And I feel like you can cater it more to what they enjoy and what brings them joy in their education and learning. And I love that it's more one-on-one with that area. And yeah, so there's a lot of reasons to homeschool, and those would be some of my biggest reasons.